better you. Call toll-free 1-800-889-0267. Visit her website at lisadwoskin.com or visit her on Facebook at BBL Fitness. Do you want to be healthier, happier, and live a longer and more fulfilled life? Then get ready to transform your mind, body, and spirit and to emerge a new you. Now here's Lisa.
Hi, welcome to Transform Your Mind, Body, Spirit. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for joining us. We are going right to a caller because I would like to talk about giving back, gratitude, and servicing others, not just ourselves. So let's pick up this caller, Chris. We're going to talk about Special Olympics, an event that's happening next weekend. Chris, are you there?
I'm here, Lisa. How are you today?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. I want to tell you that normally after our Saturday morning workout, I plan to have a nap in the afternoon, but I was so busy yesterday that I didn't manage my nap. So this morning, I slept until 9:22. That workout yesterday was a killer. It was a great workout. Thank you so much.
Oh, so I'm helping your sleeping habits, too. I'm glad. That was a good workout. I had to take a nap yesterday after. Anything I can to help you promote it. So let's talk about it a little bit. And I have your website, but I'm not sure if I copied it down right, so I'll have you share the website.
Okay, so if anybody who wants to donate to Special Olympics Florida, a good place to go is firstgiving.com/team/311584.
Okay.
So that's, again, www.firstgiving.com/team/311584. That takes you to the First Giving website, which is a website for non-profit organizations. All the money goes directly to the Special Olympics Florida Miami-Dade. And for those who don't know, Special Olympics Florida caters to, here in South Florida, I think there's about 6,000 athletes with intellectual disabilities like cerebral palsy and Down syndrome and autism. And it gives them year-round competition. It's not just the main events that you see on the television where they have athletes with intellectual disabilities competing on a national level. Year-round, they give them training, sports training, and medical screening, and it's just amazing for the athletes. So we do this event every year to raise money for Special Olympics Florida, for Miami-Dade. And we have, next Sunday, the 6th, we have about 45 Special Olympics athletes coming to visit us at Oceania in Sunny Isles Beach. And we're going to share a morning of yoga and buckyball and bocce ball, and stretching and other activities, and then we have an awards lunch, and we give a medal to all the athletes who participate. It's a great day. They love it.
Now, if people want to volunteer, do you need more volunteers, or are you set with everything?
We're set with all the volunteers. We have a very large number of volunteers this year. I think we have over 20 volunteers. So that's great. But it's a great event, and if people want to get more involved next year, then they can always contact me through you, and we'll see if we can get them involved.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, and that's March 6th. And
March 6th, next Sunday.
Go ahead and give that website out one more time.
It's www.firstgiving.com/team/311584. And for you, Lisa, thank you also for being generous and for our raffle, giving some prizes for the raffle. We really appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, Freddie, I gave away 3 life coaching sessions, or 1 or 2 life coaching, a couple of meditation sessions, a couple of books, and a couple of personal training sessions. I think it averaged out to like $800.
Wow, that's really
But I love it. I
Good
love
course.
it. Yeah,
Very good
I think giving back is what makes us all happier people in life. It really does.
Absolutely. This is one of the nicest things that has come around in a long time.
Yeah, I think so too. So thank you, Chris, so much for calling.
Thank you, Lisa. Take care. Have a great show.
Okay, take a nap today so you're not so sore tomorrow when I kick your butt again.
I can't believe you said that on the air.
Take care. He, excuse me, he takes my boot camp classes on Saturday. They're very intense. So anyway, my first guest, which is sitting next to my chair over here, beautiful Michele Drake. And I just want to talk, I'm going to read my little notes here. 30 years in wellness and health industry. She's a yoga instructor, a personal trainer, a life coach. She's starting a brand new, beautiful adventure, which she's going to talk to us about, called Master Habits. So go ahead, take over, Michele. How are you?
I'm wonderful. The kids and I are on vacation right now, so we get to visit you in this beautiful space, and we're heading on to a cruise today, so that's awesome as well.
Oh,
and
you're
very
lucky.
happy to be able to fit this in, and that Peter can join us as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait to introduce Peter when he calls. And it's so funny, Freddie, I'm going to pull you into this again. So she's going on a cruise. She needs to be on the cruise ship at 3 o'clock. And we're done here
In
at 2
Miami?
o'clock at Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so I told her, don't worry. We'll just,
she'll
as
make
soon as it show's over,
That's
we're going
right.
straight
We're
there.
going
It's a
straight
piece
there.
of cake.
Exactly.
Where are you going on the cruise?
We're going NASA, St. Thomas, St. Martin.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. I used to go there for lunch because I lived in Puerto Rico, so I used to go to St.
Oh,
St.
wow,
Thomas
yeah,
for
right.
lunch and
Yeah,
buy
lovely.
like 15 bottles of liquor and then come back.
Oh, gosh, nice.
Yeah, and we're visiting the Albany Club in NASA, where a friend of mine runs the fitness out there as well.
Oh,
So
very
that's
yeah,
really
nice.
interesting.
Are you
yeah.
originally from Canada?
I am.
Oh, I can
I
hear
was
that.
born and raised
You hear
in
that
Oakville.
accent?
What do they?
Yeah.
What do they
We
say?
don't
Yo,
have
mate?
the accent.
I know, they don't think they have
We
the
don't have
accent.
it.
Oh, you
We
don't have it?
Wait
It's
till
my
you hear
imagination.
Peter
I'm
with
sorry.
his accent.
My imagination. But
So, Michele, you are a yoga instructor and a life coach. So, talk to us about, besides teaching exercise, do you really get into the mindset with the people? Do you do meditation, that kind of stuff?
The mindset is huge. Meditation took me an awful long time myself to get into. I found different forms of meditation. So I remember I had this diary that said on it, meditation, how many minutes, and what type of meditation are you doing? And I just because I wanted to fill it in, I kept thinking, what am I going to do for meditation? Because I would either fall asleep or get antsy or all those type of things when I was trying it out for a long time. So what I ended up doing was Peter at the time actually was sponsoring these extreme balance boards, and when I read it, the martial artists that had come up with it had said, this is my form of meditation, and I thought, perfect, this is going to be my meditation. So for 10 minutes a day, I would get on the balance board, and what happens is, because it has 3 axes of rotation and the instability is so great, you really can't focus on anything else while you're on it. And that's really the main intent of your meditation, is to get a little more clear-minded and a little more focused on one thing and allow other things to go.
Is
Right?
that the picture that I posted of the two of you?
Actually,
on
that
board?
is,
Oh,
that is the extreme balance board.
Oh, that's
and
I've never tried that.
ironically, yeah. And so what I found was that you're on it. You're not making your grocery list. You're not thinking about anything else. You're totally focused. And after I was doing it regularly for a week even, then I noticed that I was able to then pay a little more attention when I went to guided meditations, and I was able to get into it a little more. And then I found out that 20 minutes of the alpha state is like 8 hours of rest for your cells. So I thought, if anything is going to be a good implementation to improve the vitality of your life, you've got to learn how to meditate.
Of
So
course.
then I decided to get into it. Now, I myself will guide them, but I also do have friends that are so eloquent in guiding them that I allow people to take over when their strength is bigger than mine
Yeah.
in an area. So I like getting guided on meditations.
I love guided
Yeah.
meditations.
Yeah.
I tell all my clients to just Google guided meditation. But Freddie and I are doing a CD. Well, he's going to help me with it. The #1 producer over here. Guided meditation. I'm going to have my own. I'm
Very
so
nice.
excited.
Well,
I
I'd
can't
love to
wait.
hear that because I
Different
really love
types
your
of-
voice.
different types of meditation you're going to show?
Well, the first one we'll do like a 15-minute guided meditation just to relax, to teach them how to relax their shoulders, to breathe, relax their body. Then we'll get into maybe visual meditation, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I do teach regularly a stretch class. It's more sports stretch because it's blended with yoga, but it's not all yoga. And often, like I get on a regular basis people coming up to me and thanking me for that class, and I think what happens is that everyone goes into meditation for the whole time.
Yeah.
So even though we're moving not very fast, but even though there's movement involved, it's still very meditative, and people feel very healed and so much better when we finish.
And that's what we talk about on the show when we talk about meditation, that people think meditation is only one way, and there's so many ways to meditate. And what you just said about meditation with movement, people meditate while they're playing golf, while they're gardening, not just sitting in silence in a lotus position thinking they have to meditate that way.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
And actually, Peter will speak on it, but his is walking through the rainforest. Right?
I know, yeah.
So his movement meditation is there.
Now, since he's not on the phone yet, he'll be calling in any minute. Why don't we talk about a little bit about master habits and what you two have going on?
Yeah. Peter and I are in a creative process at the moment, very thick with ideas and information and putting things together. Right now, we're just developing the IT side to match up with it, and we're also going to provide a crowdfunding project so that you can get involved, become part of our modern day tribe as we're launching, and that would be very helpful and assistive for us to get it going a little faster. But in the meantime, it's just been such a rich process, all about mindset and improving your habits, becoming better every day, implementing all kinds of different things, not just in fitness and nutrition, but in many areas of your life, like fun and recreation and relationships and your money. These things all affect each other. So we've got 8 different areas of a wheel that end up coming together to help mold you or help assist you in growth in those areas that you need.
So it goes over mindset, nutrition, exercise, and love, relationships, you said?
There's
Oh, that's
relationships,
great.
and
That's beautiful.
relationships are, part and parcel of anyone you come in contact with, right? Relationships aren't just your significant other, but it can be anybody you're working with, meeting at the grocery, anything
interacting
happen.
with
Any
people.
interaction is relationships, right? Yeah.
Now, what about gratitude, giving back?
Absolutely. So the site itself will have all kinds of things around gratitude, raising the vibration. The truth is that we just want to assist many to greatness, and any time that we're able to help motivate, coach, and show tips and techniques that help lift you into a different space, then we're raising the vibration, and hopefully the more we do that with more and more people, that the whole world just starts to lift.
Of course, for sure, definitely. And let's talk about Peter before he calls in.
Sure.
So I met him about 3 years ago, and I was going through the end of my marriage, and I was just starting on Facebook 3 years ago, and I would see his posts all the time, and they were so uplifting and inspirational, and he would post posts with his daughters, and then he would talk about his ex-wife, the mother of his daughters, and how they were great friends. And it was funny because I would wake up one morning with a heavy heart about how could I divorce the father of my kids, and is it going to affect their lives? And then I'd turn on Facebook and there would be a post from Peter about the exact subject. And then the next day I'd have another thought heavy in my heart. He would post something about that subject. So I contacted him and we became friends, and I went over to Vancouver and visited with him. And he's such an amazing, spiritual, inspirational, amazing human being. I can't wait till he calls in. Where is he? Peter Twist, call us. The number is 1-800.
Well, he called, you know what?
889-0267.
I think what we're going to do is, we're going to take a commercial break because Peter can't call on the 800 number.
Oh,
I just came to that realization right now.
Oh,
you can't. We have to call on the. Yeah, he has to call in from Canada. So why don't we do this?
Okay.
Why don't we take a break? Okay. And then that way we can find out what the regular phone number is, and then you call Peter and give him the number.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a break.
We'll be right back. Bye.
If you're a golfer or just someone who wants the best hotel stay in South Florida, your wish has been answered. Introducing the Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort. The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort, located in beautiful South Florida, gives everyone the opportunity to enjoy peace, beauty, and tranquility. 137 comfortable rooms and suites located on a 27-hole golf course with all the amenities that you'd expect of a first-class golf facility. A professional golf pro shop, excellent restaurant equipped with a full-service bar, and a staff that is ready to cater to your every whim.
The Grand Palms Hotel Spa and Golf Resort is paradise waiting for you. The Grand Palms is truly a golfer's paradise. The golf course surrounded by luxurious homes and the most exquisite landscaping in the area. You might even catch a glimpse of some celebrity golfers swinging their golf clubs. Whether you're an avid golfer or just coming to the area for business or relaxation, you won't find a more comprehensive resort experience for the value. Located minutes from South Florida's famed beaches and some of the best shopping in the country, there's something for everyone at the Grand Palms Spa and Golf Resort.
If you're looking to book a wedding, party, or speaking engagements, this is the place for you. Grand Palms Catering is the best in town, with gorgeous and spacious garden rooms and clubhouses overlooking the golf course. Grand Palms is the best kept secret in Pembroke Pines. Call today, 954-431-8800, and book your reservation to one of the most beautiful golf resorts in Florida. 954-431-8800 is the number you need to enjoy a touch of paradise for your getaway. A traditional family business in the gems business is hard to find in today's fast corporate world. Handmade and creative stones from every part of the world have made OG Gems a specialty in our community. They use jewelry to express their fashion and personality traits, and now they share their long family tradition with you. Visit their website, oggems.com, and see the jewelry they have to offer. Making people feel happy, confident, and beautiful is their goal, and each piece is handmade to enhance your personality. They use high-quality gemstones and components to create each exclusive piece. Visit oggems.com and find out why they are the best at what they do. They can arrange jewelry parties right in your own home, too, so contact them for more details. OG Gems, the true path to perfect, creative jewelry with a special custom match to your personality.
Hi, my name is Lisa Dwoskin, and you can purchase my book, Metamorphosize, on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, or on my very own website, lisadwoskin.com. Metamorphosize is about the transformation within, the journey from the caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. This book is a memoir of my personal journey of becoming spiritually enlightened and emerging into my new true self. In it, I discuss many challenges and losses that I have faced and worked through along the way. Challenges that have helped me to grow into a better person. Life is filled with trials and tribulations. How we handle these challenges molds us into the people that we become. In my book, I also will teach my readers how to help themselves and learn to become healthier and happier. My good friend Rocky Johnson and his son Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson both endorse the back cover of my book. Dwayne states, "All of my life I have been an athlete and believed in the balance of mind, body, and spirit. Without having all three in proper alignment, I would not have achieved what I have in my life. I often speak to everybody about maintaining a positive mindset, eating healthy, exercising, and balancing your life. I feel that Lisa's journey will help awaken the lives of many and inspire others to begin their own transformation. Her book is sensational and very uplifting. Thank you, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So look for my book, Metamorphosize, on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, or LisaDwoskin.com. Again, that's spelled Lisa, DWOSKIN.com.
The Department of Dermatology at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine says of the many skincare products containing antioxidants, only lycopene has been shown in clinical studies to be a benefit in protecting the skin against the harmful effects of environmental free radicals and the sun's UV rays. Unlike other lycopene-containing skincare products that use powdered tomatoes, lycopene skincare products are formulated in Italy using a highly purified and concentrated form of lycopene extracted from organic tomatoes. At Lycopene Skincare, we are committed to giving you the highest quality and freshest skin cream containing natural botanical ingredients proven beneficial for skin health and beauty. Lycopene creams are made in small batches to maintain the effectiveness of our ingredients. We are preservative-free and animal-friendly. We invite you to try all our creams and see the difference. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Lycopene Skincare. Please visit our website at lycopeneskincare.com. That's Lycopene, Lycopene, skincare.com. And let Lycopene lead your skin on the path to beauty.
Are you ready to transform your life? Are you wanting to lose weight, become healthier, and feel happier? I am here to help you do just that. My name is Lisa Dwoskin. I'm a personal trainer and a life coach. I educate on transforming the mind, body, spirit from within. I want to teach you how to eat healthy, exercise daily, and feed your mind with positive thoughts. You can hire me one-on-one for coaching, personal training, or how to learn about nutritious foods and how they affect your body in a more positive way. Sign up for my free weekly newsletter at lisadwoskin.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Body by Lisa, or BBL Fitness is my Facebook page. I post daily tips on nutrition, fitness, and feeding your mind with positive thoughts. Don't wait for tomorrow to become healthier and happier. Do it today. My website again is lisadwoskin.com. That's DWOSKIN.com.
You are transforming your mind, body, and spirit with fitness professional and life coach Lisa Dwoskin. You can call in at any time, toll free, 1-800-889-0267 to speak with Lisa. Now let's get back to this week's show.
Yay, we're back. We finally have Peter on the phone. And before we take the phone call, for those of you who want to call in, 1-800-889-0267. If you want to watch the show live, you can watch it at lisadwoskin.com or amp2.tv. Right, Freddie?
You can watch it on lisadwoskin.com.
Yeah, okay. All right,
and then
perfect.
it'll be replayed on amp2.tv.
Oh, okay, now I got it.
There you go.
Okay, so we have the Mr. Famous Peter Twist on the line. And before he starts talking, let me introduce him. I have so much to read about him, about all the gyms he owns all over the world, the 14 books he published, 24 DVDs, all this stuff. I can go on and on, 700 professional athletes he trained. But what I want to do is just speak from my heart about him, because I really feel like he's my spiritual guide, as well as thousands of others out there. This man is the most inspirational, motivational, beautiful, spiritual human being and soul I've ever met, pretty much in my life. And I've only met him once, 3 years ago. So are you there, Peter?
Lisa, yeah, great to hear your beautiful voice. How are you?
Thank you. Good. I'm glad we finally got you on the phone. Sorry about that.
Well, I was up in my igloo in Canada. We had to sort out the technology, but I'm glad to be here as well.
So I want you to share your story a little bit, because when I was talking about how I found you on Facebook, because your posts were so influential and spiritual and inspirational towards me and many others. And then it wasn't until maybe a couple months later that I found out about everything you had been going through and your whole story. And I think it's so important that people hear about how athletic you were and healthy you were and what happened to you. So go ahead, you take over.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me join you on here. That's awesome. You're doing such great work here, helping people turn into that butterfly in metamorphosizing. So that's what I've been about my whole life. But I started out doing that mainly with athletes and coach athletes to be their best and handle the most extreme challenges in that arena. And as well, that's how I grew up, being an athlete. You know, grew up in Eastern Canada, playing all the traditional North American sports, and then moved west and dropped all those and picked up skiing and mountain biking and downhill foot racing in the summer, downhill descent racing, which is fun. But always fairly cognizant of pushing myself and helping others push themselves to become their best. And it was a day when I was 47, and I was up a mountain, a beautiful West Coast day, in my snowshoes with our friends on New Year's Eve day, and looking out from the mountain at the ocean and our kids playing around. And I made the comment that I've never felt better in my life, and part of that was emotional, spiritual, where I live, who I'm with, what I do, but a lot of it was also my strength and fitness and capacity. I'd never felt stronger, and you correlate that to healthy as well. And about 10 days later, I was diagnosed with a surprise diagnosis of stage 4 head and neck cancer, with a tumor about the size of a baseball up by my brainstem, and then because it was caught so late, there was tumors through my face and neck and chest and so on. So I had to flip the switch and get into that. So that triggered me two things. One, it allowed me in fighting that to find greater depths of strength. But an important thing it allowed me to find was empathy for people outside of that athletic venue who have challenges that might not be cancer. It generalizes to everyone, which is the great thing when you understand that everybody has a difficulty they're trying to overcome. It gave me more empathy and understanding of that, and it stimulated me with the curiosity to explore what the heck is happening in our world with what we consume and take in and how we live, and how could I feel my very best but still have a late stage cancer. So that put me on an exploration stage, Lisa, to learn more things to help more people with really where they're at today.
Now let me ask you a quick question.
Which is trying to overcome that.
I want to ask you a quick question. You had zero symptoms, right? You didn't have any symptoms at that point when you were on the mountain and feeling great. You were very healthy, and you had zero symptoms, right?
That's pretty much right. Yeah, I actually had, and it's one of the things I encourage people is to, I'm a big believer in signs and symbols, and one of those is intuition. And I just felt for about 5 years, 2 or 3 times a year, I get this strong feeling that, oh my God, I'm sure I have cancer.
Wow.
That was just an intuition, a voice inside me. There was no symptoms. And I would visit doctors to express that, but I looked and sounded too healthy, and they'd do some preliminary tests and just send me away and tell me I was good to go. Now with your question, late in the game, when it got close to my diagnosis, I did lose hearing in one ear, and I did get a lump on my neck, but that was very, very late, in that 5-year process. But even when I went in with that, the doctor thought I had an infection and gave me antibiotics and sent me away.
Wow. See, I wanted to bring that up because for people listening and watching us, is if you feel anything, what Peter said about intuition, and we're going to pipe in over here with Michele in a second. Intuition is everything, and really, if you open your mind, open your spirit, and we were talking earlier about meditation, you could hear your inner voice, and you need to get in tune with your inner voice and your intuition, because it will talk to you, and it will tell you something's wrong, something's right, and you need to listen. So thank you for bringing up that point, and let's let Michele say hi to you.
Hi,
hey,
how are you?
Michele, hey, you're enjoying the good life.
Oh, I so am enjoying the sunshine and taking our coats off, coming out of the igloo.
Yeah, well, it's great to do this, the three of us. Next time I have to fly in and sit
I know,
there with
you should be here.
Well, I have a competition with you on the rollerblades, with the tequila shot.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
So it's funny. I was going to say I have to come there and sit with you because I know that's where the bottle of wine resides. But tequila and inline skates who could turn down a challenge like that?
I know, right?
That sounds like a good sport we should start out.
I saw someone on those Kangoo jumps last night on the boardwalk in Hollywood Beach.
Yeah.
And I thought of you. You said you wouldn't wear them unless you were drinking.
And I was drinking a glass of red wine, I want you to know. And Michele was drinking water.
I can accept.
It's all good.
Well, okay, Peter, so now you were starting to get into mindset, because everything I know about you and what I really want our listeners to hear is how big of a impact is mindset for people that have disease or people that don't, or people that are unhappy. Let's talk a little bit about positive mindset, because I know you're all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. My mindset's everything. And even in training people for exercise, we say mindset before muscle. And, that's easier said than done. If someone's really depressed, it's hard to get off the couch, to get moving, and to eat something that's good for your mind, and to move and socialize and do things that are good for your mind. So they kind of all go together. But mindset's just everything. Certainly your happiness lies from within, your positive mindset lies within, and when you start to understand that you own that, and your circumstances around you don't affect that very much, nor are you reliant on your situations or anyone for that, then that's where the sweet spot of life is. Certainly from a challenge, something interesting, we love to coach people to take what's perceived as negative attitudes into something resourceful for them. For someone could be very stubborn, and stubbornness could mean lack of cooperation or closed-mindedness, so they don't learn and grow. But stubbornness can also easily be translated into patience and determination to pursue things with that dogged determination that started out as stubbornness. So we can grow a mindset the right way, just like we can our health and our fitness and our body.
Yeah, and I love the story that you share, and if you don't mind sharing it again, of when you were going through the chemo and you would get to the hospital and how you wouldn't, where you would park and what you would listen to. Tell that little story. I love that, with the AC/DC jamming.
Yeah, I would always have AC/DC type music playing on the way there. People recommended that the people that are listening, I just encourage them to feel, not beat yourself up. Feel good about, don't feel like you're doing enough all the time. Feel good about doing what you can with how things are, with, what you have now, and keep growing on that. And so people, Lisa, people really recommended that I, be really peaceful during cancer, and I meditate, and, I kind of use happiness and positiveness to battle that. Mm-hmm. And that just wasn't work. Maybe if it was stage 1 and I knew my chances were 90%, that's fine. But if your chances are like 1% or less, and it'd be like walking out of the radio show and there's like 6 people with knives there that want to take you down, you're probably not going to meditate your way out of that situation.
Right.
You might have to put your battle face on. So I put my battle face on because there's 2 parties at the competition, and only one's going to walk away. It's like a last man standing drill. It's not. I don't think it's the time for peacefulness and positiveness. There's a time for that throughout our life. This was a time to get ready to fight, and so my main song was a band called P.O.D., and their song is called Boom, and it's an AC/DC type song, and in it says, "Is that all you've got? Give me your best shot." Yeah. And it was a mindset to go in and be mentally strong during that, and other things like during radiation treatments to my head and chest, I did a lot of visualization where I was trying to fight the tumors and blow them up and get them out of my body and so on. It's that there is an overall mindset we use of better every day, trying to get 1% better every day. It's a lot easier when we're already healthy to do that, but it's still applied there.
I love that, blowing up the tumors. And whatever you did, it's working because you just had your 5-year checkup, right?
I did have the 5-year checkup.
Yay! We're so happy for you.
Thank you. Look, I'm happy in a very gracious and respectful way, because there's like 99 out of every 100 people with that don't walk through the 5 years. And they might have worked really hard too. So I believe I did a lot of meticulous things every day. Like, it was such a thorough program. Food and exercise and mindset and habits, as Michelle's great at talking about, those master habits. But there's other people that tried hard and worked hard, and every cancer is just a little bit different. It resides in a little bit different place. I had great oncologists. One thing folks should know is I also broke a lot of the rules. I don't mean going out and just trying crazy stuff that's not proven. But I didn't follow the Canada or U.S. food guide. I followed a holistic nutritionist. My oncologist, without question, saved my life. I have so much respect for the three of them. But I also saw a naturopathic doctor, and I ran my grocery list like a business runs their product inventory, and I knew exactly what was in my house, and everything was in my favor. Every single thing I put in my mouth was in my favor.
Yeah, I want to talk about
all that. So all those things come in, but
the jungle juice. We got to get to that, but we have a caller that is calling in that wants to talk to you. Her name is Dara. So let's put her through, and then we'll get back to talk about the jungle juice and Michele and the master habits. So are you there, Dara? No. Uh-oh, we lost Peter.
You lost Peter or you lost Dara?
No. Peter, are you there? No, we lost them both.
You lost both?
Okay, Michele, give some input. Peter will call right back.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
There he is. Let's talk a little bit about master habits with him.
Well, just something that I was picking up on with Pete, I just wanted to rephrase into is,
Is he back on? Peter, are you on? You can put Peter back through. You there?
Yes, so we have, there's a book I really enjoyed. It was a really easy read, Michael Ruiz, The Four Agreements.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that book helps so many people through so many things. And when Pete was talking about, always do your best is the fourth agreement. Mm-hmm. And your best is different when you're sick or when you're, not feeling yourself. So it's really important that you're just doing the best with what you have at that time.
Yeah,
right?
I love that book, The Four Agreements.
Yeah.
Is he back on? Are you there?
I'm back on, yeah.
Yay.
Sorry, we disconnected you. We tried to pick up the other caller, but...
on me all the time. Do that.
Okay, while we're figuring out the other caller, so we were talking about the Four Agreements Michele was bringing up about the book, which is so true. And then let's talk about, I know both of you are so into nutrition and organic and everything green, so let's talk about your jungle juice. I love that.
Yeah, the jungle juice came from Todd Durkin out of San Diego, the name of it. I hosted him up and I gave him some of my plant mud. First thing I recommend people do that think they're healthy right now is to get a big expensive blender, Vitamix or whatever. You can get a blender for $25 somewhere. My blender is about $400. I don't have a lot of money, and I don't have other expensive things. I don't have anything else in my kitchen that's more than $20. But the blender, it has to be quick and efficient and easy to clean and work. So I don't follow recipes. I don't make it complicated. I believe in making complex simple, or most folks aren't going to do it. And they're going to talk themselves out of it. So I choose organic, non-GMO, nutrient-dense foods with no labels. Essentially, Google superfoods. Take 2 minutes. Google superfoods, print off 2 or 3 of the list, and buy those things and eat them. But a typical jungle juice, I started making shakes at home. And, of course, probably like most folks, if we've grown up on, like, Juggo juice and booster juice, and we've been out there trying to eat healthy. We start out with very fruit-based, sugar-based shakes with some protein in it, and that's certainly better than a lot of things. So at home, I started with blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, anything that tasted like basically it was a drink that a 10-year-old would probably like. And slowly I started to reduce the fruit and add plants. And so now a typical shake that I make would be things like spinach, chard, kale, collards, broccoli, cabbage, beets, carrots, cucumbers, some of the lifesavers like avocado and coconut. And I would blend those in with an organic orange juice base, add some alkaline-forming foods like watermelon and grapefruit and lemon. And even though grapefruit and lemon are acidic, they're alkaline-forming, which raises your pH and helps against inflammation. I mix all those up, and almost like you're making a microbrewery beer or wine, Lisa.
Right.
I would take a taste.
Why are you mentioning me when you mention wine? Everyone's going to think I'm a wino over here. I'm really not.
I taste it, and if I need to change the texture or the flavor, I play around with it. But I have that every morning and every night. That's my staple. And look, there's three classes of food. There's an upper class, which is phenomenal, like the foods I just mentioned, real superfood, nutrient-dense, life-giving foods that power us and power our mind and body. There's the middle-class foods, which comprise most people's shopping list to bring home from the grocery store. And then there's what we consider our super crappy, cheap foods and so on. And I just don't eat any middle-class foods at all. I eat mainly the top upper-class foods, and I eat some of the crappier foods at the bottom every day. I enjoy that part too. I just don't waste my time in the middle-class foods where they're not really delicious and they're nutrient lean and they're full of chemicals, and that's where I think people are off track.
Well, and I have a question for you about alcohol.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about alcohol, because I know you drink beer and tequila a little bit, but how, for people listening, because all my clients ask me all the time, can I still drink my wine? And I tell them, of course, in moderation, but what would you say as far as for health, for not just feeling healthy, but looking healthy and being toned? Too much alcohol isn't good, right?
Yeah, and I'm a good reference point because until I got cancer, I didn't really like the word moderation. And I'm an extremist. I like to do things full on, full out. And but since that time, absolutely. Look, let's talk about to answer that question on alcohol and looking your best and being healthy. Let's talk about our most intimate relationship. Let's everyone just visualize what they think is their most intimate relationship. Actually, can we spend a lot of time on this?
Yeah, I like this subject. Go for it. You're pretty cute too, Pete. We can really visualize this good. Go ahead.
For intimacy, contrary to what most folks were thinking, although that's a nice place to be as well, food. What we drink and eat is our most intimate relationship. If you think of, some people might have thought intimate relationship is hanging out with their grandchildren. Well, that's great. There's all kinds of intimacy and connection. But if we were having fun and going to a sexual intimacy, we think of what happens during that. Now, think of what happens with food that we eat and alcohol, but all kinds of foods. We put something that's living into our mouth. We chew it up, we break it down, and we take that into our body, and its cells, all through our body from head to toes, its cells and our cells intermix. That's everything in the body. That's so much more intimate than what we were thinking of. And literally, it's an overused mantra, so I don't really like using it because we overlook it, but we are what we eat. So are the food or fake food or chemicals or pesticides or antibiotics or stress from factory farm meat that we take into our body, that goes right into our cells, and we become that. People literally put sickness inside their body. On the alcohol part, well, great, you're getting all your cells drugged, and that's terrific.
It's
so
disinfecting,
do that once in a
isn't
while
it?
And have a little bit of fun, but all the time your body's not going to fare very well, and it's going to reduce the quality of your billions of cells that make up your body. There's different ways to put sickness into our body. They don't fuel us to do well. So moderation is that. I'm not a nutrition monk. I'm not sitting at home eating a leaf every day. I like to have my fun. So if someone wants to go out for some beer and wings, great, go enjoy that. But that's not your staple in your everyday. And the less alcohol you drink, and if it's none, that's great. And the higher quality food, everything's going to get easier for you, and you'll have the more of the body that you desire. But your body will be strong and healthy and move and allow you to do cool things that you want to do as well. It's everything to answer your question.
Yeah, moderation. Now, another thing I want you to express to people listening, and then I'll have Michele ask you about something. For those people out there, which is the majority of people, sadly, that don't know how to become happier because of whatever they're going through, they just are sad, they're depressed, they're the victim, they're pointing the blame at others, whatever it is. I'm always trying to talk about positive mindset, exercise, nutrition, how to become happier from self-love, but spend a little time teaching people or educating people how to find happiness or become happier.
Well, without question. Well, for me, one thing for me is two things are movement and nature. And where you are, that could be going down to the beach at sunset when the surf's coming in and going for a walk or a nice run along the beach. Mm-hmm. In my neck of the woods, I get to go out into the forest and creeks and rivers and waterfalls, and someone may be close to a lake and they can go do that. But movement promotes life and stimulates things in your body that lead to a more positive mindset, and nature is very energy giving and grounding as well. And look, I'll say straight up, there where I live, there used to be a forest there's still a forest where I used to live. There's a forest right beside it, and when I had cancer in the meat, the thickest part of my chemo and radiation, and I was just beat up. It was relentless torture. It was hard just to continue for the next 5 minutes, and it was hard to have hope when my odds were low, but I just felt awful the whole time. It was just hard to stand there and breathe. I try to go for a walk in the forest, and it's not like happiness comes at the flip of a switch. I was standing in there breaking down. I was emotionally overwhelmed. I was crying. I didn't have hope, and I didn't have happiness. But I had to get out and move. I had to get into nature, and from there I had to get around some positive people that could help me along from that side. And it's just for people to know it's a process. Mm-hmm. But if they're not happy now, what they're doing now doesn't work. And it's hard to get moving when you're depressed, I understand. But just to take baby steps, get in motion, try and find some nature. I think those two things are very nurturing, and over time, you'll start to enjoy that solo peacefulness in those environments, and it becomes a place to feed. It's so important to go out and try and find what feeds you good energy to start to feel better, and it'll come, but stay with it. It's a process.
I love that. Nature, the ocean soothes my soul. I love it. Go ahead, Michele. You take over the radio show.
All right,
Talk to
I'll
Peter.
take over a little bit.
Let's see how you do.
I was reflecting a lot as Pete was going through that, because you can sense it and you can feel, the heartache that you go through at that time. And I remember when going through some of my most traumatic events, which they back up on each other for some reason. It's not like you get one and you get a break. You kind of get quite a few in a row. So at that point, I remember that getting out was actually a little hard for me. So like even getting into nature was hard. So I remember getting tropical sea salts. This was recommended to me from someone. It's mineral bath, so it's like replenishing your body with something that's lacking. So I would do mineral sea salt baths, and I used to love walking around with this piece of citrine, which was supposedly very healing, this stone that I gravitated to. And it felt like a piece of Play-Doh. It actually looked like one, too, that you had squeezed in your hand. Mm-hmm. And you would find me most times holding on to this piece of citrine. So it felt odd. Do you know that those are the two things I reverted to? But they seemed to really help me. And then I was able to, start to get off from crawling to walking to standing to flourishing. Right? Yeah. But it was definitely a daily mindset that you had to place yourself in the fact that I didn't like the saying, "This too shall pass," because I thought, I don't want things to pass. I want to be happy today. I don't want it to pass. Like, why do I wish for something to always pass, right? Yeah. So I remember thinking I didn't like that saying, and that I would just work through what was going on at that moment and keep the positive mindset that in a year from now it's going to look totally different. Which it does. I love my life.
And what you said is so important, because in my book I talk about this, that there are moments of sadness and hardship, trials and tribulations that we go through. And when we're going through those moments, we can't mask them with alcohol, drugs, and even exercise I used at one time to mask my issues that I was not facing. So I love that, because once I learned how to face those trials and tribulations and work through them, it completely changed my life, because I didn't bury them under the sand anymore here in South Florida. I actually worked through them, and then I was able to get to a happier place. So right. I love what you said.
Yeah, and you're stronger for it, right? Every time you come out of something like that, you realize that nothing can take you down.
Oh, God, Peter, you must be like superhuman.
We have a superhero caricature of him.
I know, right? Yeah. What was your favorite superhero? I forgot. I remember you posted it one time.
Scooby-Doo.
Michelle's words ring true. You get to a point, which is a little deeper into the journey than folks are starting out at. But you get to, you're at an early point where you don't think you can get moving and carry on, and you find your place to feed yourself, and just bit by bit, ounce by ounce, and once it starts to come, when you're there, you realize you have a lot of greater depths of strength to reach to, and now I feel like I can walk through a train wreck in slow motion, standing tall, calmly, and nothing will dent me. And no one's invincible. I'm not speaking of that. It's more of a mindset and a feel. So you could be in a work situation or anywhere where there's drama going on or whatever, and you just don't go there. You're not there. You're strong. You can just continue. And if challenges do happen in life, which they do, I've had tons of challenges and difficulties since cancer. Some of them the most difficult in my life, but I've been happy the whole way through. And you do get that sense that things aren't going to dent you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you also realize that you are now the the catalyst or the supporter of so many others that have come to you like on a daily basis now for your help. Right? Like, and you realize that trial, that tribulation that you went through actually was intended for you to be of service to others.
Well, and Peter, before you answer that, I want to just bring up when I first met him, and I sent you like a 2-page email when I first found you on Facebook, remember? And I think you sent me back like a 3-pager, but anyway, he writes more than I do. But I love what you said, that when you were 8 years old, God placed a burning desire in your heart, that you felt you were on a mission to transform the world. We have 4 minutes, we're getting the signal. And then I had joked with you how when I was 5 years old, because women mature faster than men, I had the burning desire, remember? So it's true what you say, Michele. I believe he's going through everything he's been through and continue to go through to make a difference in this world. And I always tell you, Peter, that you're going to be here longer than any of us because you're on a mission and you're accomplishing your mission.
Well, I appreciate that, and as you ladies are as well. So kudos for what you're doing. I appreciate you joining me today, and the people listening in. You know, it is a little bit of that. Is what's your personal mission and your personal purpose, and what do you want to? How do you want to give? And interestingly, pulling full circle, the more you give, the more gratefulness and happiness you have. So that might be a good place for people to start as well.
I love that. Okay, we're wrapping it up here, but thank you so much, Peter, for everything. And we'll give out your website is, go ahead, you can give it out, twistconditioning.com, right?
That's it, yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. I'm gonna end on a
enjoy your tequila and inline skating at the beach.
Okay, thank you. I'll do
and I'll
that
talk
tonight.
to you after my cruise.
Yes.
Bye. So I just want to spend a minute talking about from my sponsor, OG Gems. She gave me this bracelet. Can I show it right here? It's the most beautiful bracelet, and I have 2 more I'm going to wear next week. It truthfully touched my heart so much because what this bracelet represents is energy of the ocean. It helps to clear the mind and encourage intellectual growth. It also encourages tolerance, helps to release old patterns of behavior, and it's a calming stress and love on all levels. And it's unconditional love, and that's what I'm all about. That's what the show is all about. That's what my friend Michele Drake, thank you so much for being here, is all about.
Thank you for having me.
How do you get that?
And Freddie, and it's oggems.com. And we heard her commercial at the break. So it's all about spreading the love. Thank you all for tuning in today. And go ahead, Michele, send us off with something.
Well, I just am grateful to have this time with you today and Peter. And if anyone has any questions or wants to become part of our modern day tribe, they can reach me right now just at masterhabits@gmail.com.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, and have a good...
And your website?
Is lisadwoskin.com.
You got a little time.
Oh, do we have time? Okay, so you can order my book, Metamorphosize.
Another nice subject.
Which, you know what, Peter...
Got to pay the bills here, baby.
I know, right? Peter, I have a little bit about him in the book, and he actually did a great testimonial. I'll give you the book when I see you in a week. lisadwoskin.com, LISADWOSKIN.com. I'm a life coach, a personal trainer. You can reach me on my website, or you can call in here every Sunday at 1-800-889-0267. I really want to make a difference in everybody's lives who listen to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, eat healthy, have a positive mindset, and get your butt outside and exercise. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today and starting your very own journey through transformation. Don't wait to get